My name is Joseph Ngugi. I am one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, which is a pre-physical therapy platform that is meant to help you as a pre-PT get accepted into PT school without wasting time or money. This week, what we've been doing, for those of you that this is the first time, what's up, Alexa? How you doing? Like, if this is the first time you have joined us for any of these live trainings, we have been bringing in our students from the accepted system to share some of their stories, their experiences, their real struggles, a lot of which a lot of you are experiencing in real time. Clarissa, how you doing? Carlos, good to see you as well. Alex, good to have you here. And tonight we have Alexa Jaggi, who is one of our winners, having her talk a little bit about her frustrations, a little bit of this feeling of just isolation, feeling alone, a lot of the things that you might be feeling right now, and how she navigated through them. That's the point of the stories we're sharing. We understand that as we're on here, Jean, how you doing? Asia, how you doing? Like we fully understand that Casey and myself, we will add value through our videos and our content and so on and so forth, but there's something absolutely unique and special about a student who is currently going through the same process, experiencing the same frustrations as you, to literally just share what they have done to gain control, to be absolutely confident in themselves, to feel like they have everything lined up, to feel like they actually have a say-so over whether they can get into PT school or not, which is something that most pre-PTs do not feel. Most pre-PTs don't feel in control. Most pre-PTs feel like they're playing a game where they're kind of guessing, and if you missed last night's live stream with Nyasha, you might want to go listen to it as well. On top, just listening to their stories. How are they doing it? How are they setting themselves apart? What are the things that they're doing that are so unique as pre-PTs, so that they're able to, really crush it? So if you guys are joining us live, comment #TeamLive or #TeamReplay if you're seeing this after the fact, so that I know that you're here. And then tonight, it's all going to be about Alexa. I'm going to let her do most of the talking. I'm about to add her on here, but I wanted to preface it by sharing that is why we are here. Listen, y'all, like I was telling somebody else this today, like the purpose of Pre-PT Grind is not to be just another resource for knowledge. Y'all can get knowledge anywhere. You can get knowledge on YouTube. You can get knowledge on Google. It is beyond that. We thoroughly believe and know and understand that the way of getting into PT school has completely changed. It's not changed because they've created like some new algorithm. It's changed simply because the things that we're told to stand out are the same things that we were told 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when Casey and I were applying. It's the same stuff. And if everyone's being told the same thing, they're clearly not standing out. So what we're trying to teach you is how to be uniquely yourself, how to play into your own strengths, how to capitalize on that, and how to become the best version of yourself as an applicant, how to use that to build relationships and network and set yourself up so that when you do apply to PT school, they're not just looking through and saying, okay, that GPA, that GPA, that GPA, okay, maybe we'll look at that person. They're stopping at your name, knowing full well that you are very different from every other person they have seen. And that's what we believe in. So we're gonna teach you non-traditional ways to do it because the game has changed, and we're trying to show y'all the way out if you want to get into PT. So Chantal, how you doing? Isabella, how you doing? Jean, Santi, Warren, Sarah, good to have y'all here. Let me bring the guest of honor in here. Alexa, on here. So it's saying it's adding her. So Facebook has been giving us a hard time this week. So hopefully this works out. If it doesn't, we're gonna keep trying until it does, because I'm stubborn like that. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Alexa, your internet's going in and out. Alexa, no. Benjamin, good to see you here.
Yep.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Alexa, can you hear me now?
It's like kind of jumping back and forth. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. So people who are watching, are you guys able to hear both of us well? Or is there one of us that's clearer than the other? Y'all are the ones watching, so I want to make sure this is nice and amazing for y'all. So if you guys can hear me, just kind of raise your hand. maybe like the little double hand emoji, the hands in the air, just to let us know that you're able to hear us. And then Alexa, say something.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's it's like kind of lagging a little
That's fine.
bit.
That's fine. No stress about the lag. As long as they hear the value that you're about to share, that's all that really matters. So,
Okay.
this is perfect. Alexa, first of all, thank you so much for joining us here. What I would love for you to do, I'm gonna let you do most of the talking tonight. So what I would love for you to do is one, kind of introduce yourself, say, hey, I'm Alexa Jaggi, this is what I do. No, really, you're pre-PT, but just share a little bit about your backstory. Why physical therapy? Because
Okay.
every single person has a different way they kind of discovered PT and that level of peace in knowing that, whoa, this is exactly like this is the profession I'm supposed to be in. So for you, why PT? What led you to it? And then from there, tell us about like your journey. Like what was the frustrating parts about your journey? What has been the main challenges for you? The mental frustration sometimes. Like share all of that with us, and then we'll go from there. Is that cool? Perfect. All
Yeah,
yours.
sounds good. It's like it's kind of like it's lagging really bad. Is it okay if I go out and then come back in?
Yeah, no problem. It's actually pretty good here.
Okay. Okay. It's lagging
No
pretty
problem
bad
at
for
all.
me.
You hop off, and then I'll keep talking to them.
Okay.
Hopefully, they won't leave.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, let's see. So she's about to try again. So funny thing is, we tried. So Nyasha came in last night, and so we tried to go. I thought she was. I thought she's on a great, Sarah. But we went live with Nyasha on Monday night, and so I was at my new house. So as y'all can see, y'all notice how I normally have my poster behind us. I have the Black Panther poster sometimes. I had like the accepted system pre-PT grind poster. Y'all notice they're gone? It's because this place is empty. We like moved out today. The only thing that has not moved out of here is that couch and my internet. So my internet is not moving to the new house until tomorrow. So I didn't want it to lag because Monday night we tried to do it using like our phone data and it didn't work out. Like we had to reschedule the whole thing to Tuesday. And so Facebook and us have been kind of having a bickering, argument and, just trying to, figure out if we can do the live streams. But I really do want you guys to hear what Alexa has to share. Oh, let's see. She's back. She's back. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Alexa. Let's see. Alexa, just make sure that you're on your phone. Make sure that you're on a cell phone because it's not letting me add. So try to hop off one more time, Alexa. Make sure you're on your phone and then come on the live stream one more time. And then if it doesn't work, it's all good. I mean, we're gonna drop value anyway. But I really would love for us to make this work just because your story is a very special one. I want everybody to hear it in here. For those of y'all that are still listening, because I want to make sure you guys receive everything she has to share. If you have not registered for this Sunday's training, it's about time you do it. So this Sunday we are doing a live training. It is not on Facebook. This is not a live stream like this. This is not on Facebook. This is not an Instagram live. This is a webinar training for pre-PTs. It's the 6 steps to getting accepted into PT school, really regardless of fear of rejection, low GPA, low GRE score. We're giving you everything that we have taught our students in the acceptance system to help them get locked into PT school and more. So you don't want to be there. It is a free training. You just have to register for it. So someone can comment below www.leveluptheprept.com. If somebody can just comment that below just so that we can make sure that everybody on here is registered. If you've not registered, you might want to. And if you are not sure, you might just want to go to the link and read it and see if you're a match for what we're going to be sharing. But that's not something you want to miss. So www.leveluptheprept.com. There are over 320 pre-PTs already registered. So you don't want to miss that on your seat. All right. So, but until Alexa comes, let's see if it will let me again. Hold up. It might. It just might. Oh. I think it might let us. It's saying it's adding her. But somebody comment www.leveluptheprept.com below. Appreciate that a lot. But y'all, listen, looking forward to serving you guys to the fullest. Thank you, Kara. Alexa, how you feeling? How you feeling? Can, can you hear me? Alexa, can you hear me?
Y-
It's it's getting a little better.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So don't worry about the lag.
Okay.
They're gonna hear you. Like
Okay.
you're good. Like on my end, you are great.
Okay.
So just share your story because that's what they're here. They're like strapped ready. They're like, Alexa, we're ready to hear what you got
Okay.
to say, and they're
Sounds
excited.
good. All
So
right.
girl, you do
Sounds
you.
good.
You do you. So where'd you start as a pre-PT? Why physical therapy? And then tell us about like what were the struggles that you went through, and then we'll talk a little bit later about how you
Yeah.
navigated through them. But yeah,
Perfect. All
all
right.
yours.
So starting in, I think in high school is when I got introduced to physical therapy. We had like a career days kind of thing. So we had to pick like a career that we were interested in, and then interview someone from that career, and just kind of see like how it would work going to school, and then like after school if you need to go to graduate school for that degree, and then like what a professional in that degree, like what they do and stuff like that. So I chose physical therapy on a whim, um, and um,
I'll hear that
yeah,
story.
um, and
I
then
love
just
it.
kind of like I wasn't really all in with my interview. Like I asked just basic questions like, where'd you go to school? Like, did you like going to school and stuff like that? And just like kind of got
Yeah.
a very like ground base of what physical therapy was. And then it wasn't until I graduated that I really like knew that physical therapy was something I wanted to do. So my freshman year of college, you had to pick like your major and stuff like that. So I chose exercise science, pre-physical therapy. And then over that year, I started shadowing. And my first shadowing experience was when I was like, oh, yes, this is definitely what I want to do. I shadowed an outpatient physical therapy. And yeah, I just thought it was so awesome. Like, I was so um, amazed by just how much this physical therapist had helped her patients, and her patients were raving about her the whole time. And it was just, yeah, it was an incredible experience. So that was when I was like, yeah, I'm pretty locked in, or at least I thought at that point. Um, and
Uh-huh.
then, yeah, I guess over that year, also the fears started coming up. So we have on my campus, we had a pre-physical therapy club that I went to. So I'd go to that with my roommates because we were all pre-physical therapy. And I remember one of the first meetings we had the admissions director from a physical therapy program come, and he talked to us about like kind of what it takes to get into PT school, and scared like the life out of all of us. Like
Living daylights.
all of us
Uh-huh.
freshmen were sitting there, we're like, oh, oh my God.
Like
Yeah,
what?
like literally freaking out. Yeah, I remember my roommate and I, after
Oh
that
my
meeting, we were
goodness.
like, let's go get some ice cream and like just chill because we were, yeah,
That
we were
bad.
freaked out. Well, they pretty much told us, yeah, they were
Holy
showing
crap.
stats from their school, and they have
Yep.
pretty like good students. So like average is like
Mm-hmm.
3.8, cumulative like above 3.5 for prereq,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was insane, and we were just yeah very overwhelmed. So that yeah, that was like my introduction to like PT school and like what it takes to get in, and um
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that was kind of the mindset that I had, just like freaked out, like I gotta really work hard to get into PT school. So yeah, that my undergrad consisted of freaking out a lot, just because I had those such high expectations that like I tried to meet, and then when I didn't, it was bad. It was really bad. So my mindset
Mm.
was not right at all. And then yeah, we did have that pre-PT club, but honestly, it was kind of competitive. Like people in there, like we talk about the classes we were taking, but like it was also like oh, I'm like better than you. You know what I mean? Like we talk about they talk about grades they'd get, like, oh, like what'd you get on that in that class and stuff. So I didn't really get like the camaraderie and like being around the people that I should be around to get into PT school. Yeah. And then I guess my last fear would be just fear of the unknown. Like I had no idea like what PT cast was until I think, and I was like, what? And yeah, just absolutely no idea. So yeah, just I definitely felt in the dark, even though I thought that I was on the path to, yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, and you're talking about a few things that ring such a bell to me. I mean, one, even how you chose PT was very similar
yeah,
to kind of how I did it.
similar.
Mine was more of an accident, but we're not here for that story today. What I want to hit on is, so I know I just got in, but dude, same with our pre-PT club, Mercy. Like, that's what I want to hit on. I want to, like, once you said it, like, I literally grabbed something. I was like, oh, I can't forget that competition. So, like, okay, like, why? Oh my, okay. So what you said was like, one, yes, like it's intimidating for anybody for the first time. Like I'll say this up front, like PT school is not a walk in the park. There's a reason why like it's a doctorate level, like it is next level. It's not just like, hey, it's just like undergrad, but with cooler people. No, it's not that. Like it's actually harder. Like one of my advisors used to say, it's like high school is like drinking out of a straw, college is like drinking out of a hose, PT school is like drinking out of a fire hydrant. And so it's intense. Like you're just absorbing so much, but you'll be fine. Like you'll make it. Like there are a few things that you have to know. You have to have the right people. But there's a point you said. You said that as part of the pre-PT club, like which honestly raises a lot of the anxiety and a lot of the issues that we see as pre-PTs is the competition, right? So it's like within an organization, it's this feeling of, and I know, I know Ricky just said Ricky. Who else? I don't know who else has felt that, but I felt that too. It's as if everybody in the same community in the same university is against each other, as if that's the only amount of schools that exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which, like, what does that do to you though? Like, so break that down a little bit, because that seems to be part of the problem of what kind of raised that anticipation. Yes, like we'll go into the unknowns because that is very common as well. But the culture of the competitiveness is competitiveness is a good thing, but it's also a very dangerous thing. Tell us a little bit about what that did for you or that did to you when you're going through undergrad.
So it was really bad for like my anxiety. Like I have pretty bad anxiety, so like when I'd hear people talk about like how well they were doing in these classes and like I wasn't doing that great, like first off it made me scared to ask for help because like they just made themselves seem so much better than me. And yeah, like it raised a lot of anxiety for me. Like, well, am I actually gonna be able to like do this? Like, I guess I would just resort to like, oh, like I'm not as smart as them, you know? And that was like a big thing for me. Like I was so scared to ask for help, and like I didn't have, even though there were like, so we had all the classes like freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Like I could have reached out to the juniors and seniors to ask like which classes to take and which professors and stuff, but I like didn't because I was so terrified. And yeah, it was it really was just a place for people to brag about their grades. Since like I didn't have the best grades, it was just very intimidating for sure. So yeah, I just kind of would sit there like, oh, all right, see what they have to say this meeting, and then just like book it out real quick. Yeah.
Man. We're about to. So Ricky says there are also people who will be jealous of your success and make you feel bad for doing well in a hard class because the majority didn't do as well. I don't know if a lot of you are relating with this at all. Like, are you, as a pre-PT right now, have you guys found the one, like everyone who's watching right now, have you found yourself in a, like, you don't even have to say much about it, just say me. If you have been either in a PT club at school where you're feeling a lot of things that Alexa is sharing, where the environment doesn't, I mean, some PT clubs are good, trust me, like I've seen a few, but the where maybe in your club or in your community, maybe it's even your classes, like you just feel as though it's primarily so competition based that you can't, like, it's almost like you can't trust anybody, right? Like a fear of being like, fear of like helping someone else surpass you. I mean, like, have you guys experienced that? Like, because this is a real, like, it's the heart of an issue. It's the heart of a bigger issue, because one thing that Alexa has mentioned to me is, and I'm sure she'll go down into this a little bit more, is that as an applicant, she also like felt alone, right? And maybe you relate with that. Like, have you felt alone as an applicant? Have you felt alone as a pre-PT? I mean, if that's you, it's cool. We got Angelica, we got Ricky, Judy. I mean, Sarah, y'all are hearing me, because that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people who are in the same, like, feeling isolated. Like, I mean, how else are you supposed to respond, Alexa? If the closest group of pre-PTs that you're with are also, and don't get me wrong, like, there is a cool part about competition, like when you're competing against yourself, and you're like, there's other things that we can talk about that are good, but when you're supposed to be part of a community that's supposed to be helping you, and all you can do is use it as a platform to try to belittle everybody. Like, think about it. Like, if it's competitive, it's, let me try to ruin as many chances as possible that are not me, so that I myself have the best shot at getting into a program. And that's honestly a very twisted way of looking at it. But as much as we might all agree, it's like, well, duh, Joseph. Well, the honest truth is, like, that's the reason why we're all still so scared. It's all attached. Ricky says people had more information on PT classes to take, etc., and they will hide it from most people, which I understand. Honestly, I'm gonna call somebody out. Like, we've had live trainings where I've asked people, like, yo, have you guys been helped by this? And they're like, yeah. I was like, was this beneficial? And they'll come and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, do you know somebody in this group that would value this? And they're like, yeah, can you tag them? Nobody does anything. It's part of a deeper issue we have in the pre-PT community. It's not just on one campus. And a lot of that goes back to like what are we doing as pre-PTs to stand out? Like, because all we think is, like, we're very limited in thinking that all I have to do is have a higher GPA, GRE, all that stuff, and that's why we all look alike. But a lot of what we've been talking about, and Alexa, I want you to dive into this a little deeper. It's like you're all a bit, like, the most different thing about you is that you're you. Alexa, am I Alexa? No. Do I live in Snowville? I'm gonna call your home Snowville. No. She lives in the Midwest,
Wisconsin.
Y'all. Like, do I like, I mean, yeah, she's so my wife is also from Wisconsin. So the first time Alexa and I got on the phone, I was like, what? Like, I got hyped. So every time I see somebody from Wisconsin, I lose my mind, just because I love my wife, and because of that, I like Wisconsin. I'm not a cheesehead. I don't follow the Packers or anything like that, but I'll represent the state just for her. But honestly, like if that has been, like, it's such a deep thing where we have to start realizing that because the most unique aspect about us is us, what can we do, Alexa, to use that to our advantage? What can we do to use our unique strengths as pre-PTs to then ultimately stand out and help each other out? Because what's the use in you feeling alone? What's the use in you feeling isolated as an applicant? What's the use in you feel like a lot of the anxieties that you've had? Like, I mean, you're at a completely different point now as a pre-PT, which will transition to shortly. But like, a lot of the fears that you had were all attached to it. A lot of the fears we still have about, like, PT school. Oh my goodness, like, I don't know if I can. I don't know. It's because we're still trying to play by the game that all I have to do is increase my GPA. All I have to do is do my GRE. We're playing by a script that is so uniform that, yeah, of course there's no way for you to stand out if all you're doing is doing what everybody else is doing. But that also still goes back to the fear of someone else being ahead of me. If I help this person, and it's actually eating away our profession. So unless we unlearn that now as pre-PTs, Alexa, then the profession, like PTs are like that still. PTs are like that with chiropractors. PTs are like that with each other. PTs are, I mean, it's like a disease that just kind of keeps going through. But talk to us a little bit about that. Like what are your thoughts now? Like as you're seeing that, as you're reflecting on some of that frustration, and what has your journey been to start reclaiming that and getting control of that and finding people that are exactly what you need and not there to simply like bring you down or let you feel more of the anxiety that you were
Yeah,
going through.
so honestly, it started all with you guys. So I found your podcast, I think it was a year ago now. And honestly, like I binge listened to it because I was like, no way. Like there's people that have struggled like I'm struggling and they're PTs now. Like I couldn't believe it. Like I thought that like you try like if you weren't doing well, like you could try to get into PT school, and if it didn't happen, then like you had to choose something else. Like I didn't know that you could keep like
Mm,
working at it. And yeah, it gave me so much hope. And um yeah, it really like was the beginning of me changing my mindset to be more positive and to really like start believing in myself, because I did not I didn't believe in myself at all that I could do it. Um
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, it really honestly like you guys like saved my PT career, for real. But yeah, yeah, my eyes were, yes,
Don't even cry on the
open.
live
Huh?
stream.
Sorry.
Don't even
Oh,
crying on the live
I'm
stream.
sorry.
Jeez.
But yeah, no, it was just very eye-opening to see, and to like hear through your podcast just stories of other students, and then like hearing like what they were doing differently too, to stand out,
Mm.
was really, really cool. It was really cool. And then yeah, I don't know.
What would you say? Because and honestly, tell us like one. I want you to kind of break down
Okay.
where you are now in terms of like your perspective as an applicant. You were part of our acceptance system,
Ooh.
program. That's already obvious. I mean, you're repping this shirt. I see it. I see it. But I also want you to give some advice because I said this last night as well. But one of the best quotes I've heard, one of the best quotes I have heard recently from Myron Golden, which who we both saw at SSPT Live this past year. One of the best quotes that I saw was that he stated was, "You can never know, like wisdom does not come through looking through the windshield. It only comes from looking through the rear view mirror." So now you're looking at the rear view mirror. You're looking at your journey when you were still, in that club, just like that pre-PT club, feeling a lot of the anxiety you were feeling. You're looking back at when you were a freshman, the first time you're being told about like how crazy PT school really is, and just like the level of like overwhelm and like maybe I can't, like maybe I like. So looking back at that and then like knowing where you are now, what are some things that like if you could talk to the younger Alexa, what would you say to her? Like what, like because she's listening. She's listening. Like, and she might be a he. Like somebody on here, either watching this live or when this is a podcast episode, because it will be. Hey. Like whoever's listening, like is like that could be them. So, what would you say to the younger version of yourself now with everything you've experienced? Like, what type of wisdom would you impart on the younger
Yeah,
Alexa?
definitely mindset. Mindset is everything. It is so important to have a like mindset that you can do this, like you can do it. Like um, I don't know, just like going into so I'm a pre-PT right now. I will not be applying until 2020. So I'm taking this next year to retake classes and stuff, that I didn't do so well in undergrad. And I know now, like going through the accepted system, and working on my mindset, that that was the biggest factor in me not doing well in those classes. Like the night before exams, I would freak myself out and totally psych myself out that like I couldn't do it. Like I didn't know the information. Well, I can't do it, and that is not the mindset that you need going into an exam. Um, and like taking classes that are challenging. So yeah, just like changing my mindset to be positive, and having more confidence in myself. Um, and yeah, I have like a wall here. I could show you guys a wall of sticky notes. Can you read any of those? But like here's they're
They're
upside
like
down.
upside down.
Shoot.
What do they
Well, my
say?
favorite one, there's one right in front of me. It says 99% of the battle is mindset. I have it right in front of me.
Hmm.
um, and yeah, so that would be like, that's my biggest takeaway from the accepted system. And I'm still working on it. Like, I consistently have been working on like my mindset, and confidence for PT school. But yeah, that would be my advice for everyone. Just, you got this. You got this.
It's one of the hardest
Yeah.
things to conquer, and it's one of the least respected. Um, I mean, think about it. Like anytime, what happens? Like I'm being serious. Like what happens when someone is having like a mental health like struggle? What happens when other people who have not experienced that like are informed about it? They're usually not. It's usually like, oh, come on, just get over it. Or, like it's very very borderline disrespectful, but like no empathy towards it because you just
Right.
don't understand it and
Mm-hmm.
how real it is. When it comes to anything mindset, like the mind, oh my goodness, like I can't tell y'all like how many mental hurdles like I have to go through every day. You know what I mean? Like in the same way that you're pushing yourself, Alexa, and the way y'all are pushing yourself, like I'm pushing myself as well. Like I have to. I mean, it's the only way I can stay your mentor. Otherwise, it's like, why learn from a stale guy? Like we have to. You have to because, but every time you push yourself, you always discover that there's another area that you're very unfamiliar with, which
Yep.
leads to doubt and the thought that like maybe it's not possible. Maybe it's not gonna happen. I mean, shoot, like when we were like doing stuff like this, like y'all realize like how terrifying it is to do a live video for the first time. Like if you've never, like raise your hand if you've never done a live video in your life. Like just like if you've never done like a live video in your life, because it's terrifying the first time. But you have to go through that wall because for us it's like, yo, I want to serve pre-PTs, so I got to go through the wall if I want to have a shot at that. As a clinician, like as now a husband, there's always going to be unknowns. But the biggest thing is like how are you entering it? Because the one thing, Alexa, is we learned this as well together is that anxiety and excitement have the
Sensation.
same response. Like they have the same physical
Yeah.
response, nervousness. So if I'm excited about something, I'm nervous, right? So like for Sunday, for example, like Sunday is like such a massive live training. I think it's about to be our biggest one yet because we're already like passing the numbers we've had before. Like, so I'm kind of nervous about it because I'm excited. Like I'm not nervous, like scared. Like we don't have a good time. And if y'all haven't signed up, www.leveluptheprept.com. Somebody comment that below. Get your act together. Get in. It's on Sunday. But before something that I'm excited about, I still get nervous. If I'm performing a recital and I've practiced and I know I'm good, I'm still excited or I'm nervous or maybe I'm anxious, right? But it's still gonna
Yeah.
come out as
Yeah.
nerves. It's like I'm nervous that something's gonna go wrong, and all it is the mindset as to which outcome you
Yes.
believe will occur. When you believe that it's going to be the worst case scenario, you will have anxiety. You have told yourself this is going to go wrong. And because you are bracing yourself for it going wrong, your body is responding in the form of nervousness, which is telling you, oh, this is a bad thing. Whereas if you can start teaching yourself that it's the best case scenario, then your body will start recognizing that nervousness as excitement. Anytime I get nervous now, Alexa, I see it as like, this is just me loading up for
Yeah.
something really spectacular. Like I already know something amazing is going to happen on Sunday just because of how I feel. Like it's a done deal. But how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel that way about your acceptance into PT school? And the thing is, when we're excited about something, what do we normally do? If I'm anxious about something, usually I'm going to try to avoid anything that gives me more anxiety. So if I'm scared about potentially getting rejected, then the actions that I would have taken, the proper actions that I would have needed to take, the people I would have needed to be around, not those not the messed up situation you're in your club. Like, I'm talking about like the people that you need to be around. Like, you would have found them if you were excited about it. But if you're not, you're like, yo, I don't want anything to do with it. So naturally we stay to ourselves. Naturally we say, you know what, maybe not. Naturally we start giving ourselves plan Bs. Naturally we start listening to some of the stuff that we're being told by our families. Naturally we start doing the things that our advisors telling us, pick a different career, have other options. Now, because we are anxious, because we have told ourselves it's going to be the worst case scenario. Yet if we tell ourselves it's the best case scenario, then all of a sudden, yo, my sister's on. What's up, Joy? How you doing? Like when we tell ourselves it's the best case scenario, that is represented as excitement. So because it's represented as excitement, then what happens is now I take actions that literally that expect me to succeed. It's not just like I think we think mindset is just like a little like, oh, just believe and it'll happen. No, when your mindset is so locked in on the best case scenario, your actions are so locked in, and you're putting yourself around the right people, you're taking the right steps, you're doing the right things to help you stand out to the point where when you get to the other side, it actually happens. You actually get in. You actually get accepted. So you have to start redefining it. But you're right, Alexa. 100% mindset. 100% mindset. So what's yours? If you're watching this, is it one where you're scared that everybody else is out to get you? Everybody else is gonna get in and not you, maybe because you believe it's because their GPA is better or anything else? Is it because of the exposure to just a negative environment? Is it because you don't have anyone that really believes in your dream as much as you do? Is it because you've been rejected before? Is it because you have low grades right now and that's overwhelming you and you're seeing what everyone else is having? You're like, man, it's not matching up. Is that the GRE that's been giving you like some sleepless nights because you might have taken it a few times and it didn't go well, or you're about to take it for the first time and you're like, what is it? Excitement versus anxiety. Mindset is everything, but it is not an overnight switch. Alexa just said it. She's still working on it. Y'all, I think my mindset's growing a lot, and I'm still working on it. We're human beings. And so understand that if you want to give yourself a shot at realizing this dream, especially if you have a lot of the fears that Alexa had, especially if you're having a lot of the other anxieties that come along with being a pre-PT, understand that it's more than possible. We know it because we see it all the time with our acceptance system students. So that's not the problem. Like, it's what are we willing to do? What are we willing to do? Yes, growth over fixed mindset. Yeah, of course. You have to. You have to. And so, Alexa, I appreciate you sharing your story. And I hope they join you,
Yes.
As part of the audience this weekend. I don't know what they're doing, but this Sunday, I mean, you tell them, where should they be on
Should be
Sunday,
at the
Alexa?
webinar. Or watch the replay.
I mean, maybe they'll listen to you. I don't know. Maybe they'll listen to you and not me. I don't know. We're just trying to help them, Alexa, if they want it. We're just trying to level them up. So thank you guys so much. This community is here to serve you at the highest level possible. If you want to utilize it, do it. If you don't, cool. But if you're ready to level up, then understand that there are certain things that you can do. You do have the ability to take control of your application process. The people you have around you, period, you can, and we're here to show you how. Be there on Sunday. We'll see you. 12 p.m. Eastern time. Register. If you don't register, you won't have the link. So don't just look at your computer and say, "Where's Joseph's?" Register for it. www.leveluptheprept.com. Go before the seats are filled up. I think there's the last time I checked, we're a little over 300-ish, 320. I can't remember, but just get your
Sign
seat.
up right after this.
Please. All right.
Right now.
Sign up right now. Like, we'll leave the live stream. We've already finished.
We're
We've
done.
already finished. Leave the live stream. Like, just go www.levelupprept.com, register for it, and if you cannot show up live, you will have access to the replay if you register. Let's freaking get it. Alexa, I know you're leveling up. I hope they want to level up like you.
Thank you.
All right?
Thanks for
All right, fam.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
for
so
having
much,
me
Alexa.
on.
Deeply appreciate it. Can we all give her a round of applause? Can we
Love
all
you
just give her a
guys.
round of applause? Do you have one last thing to say?
You got it. You got this.
Period. Couldn't have said it better. Y'all have a blessed one. Many blessings. Bye.